This is the way losers acting around misfits. Pound for pound, I'm the listing. You can bounce and get dismissed. Clown, get this. Couldn't walk a mile wearing my Fitbit. Competition is non-existent.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. In today's bullshit, our good buddy Top Dolla upset so many people with his diss record on Jinder Mahal and Shanky. Why did he do this? Well, what took place on SmackDown? Jinder Mahal and Shanky made fun of rap by beatboxing and turning their hat backwards and doing the kid and play dance, all of which was supposedly done in good fun, where Jinder Mahal ended with hit row, more like cringe row. And so Top Dolla decided to respond in rap form. He put out a short rap clip that was only about a minute or two, and in doing so, he made some references to India. And people were very upset that he would reference India in any way involving Jinder Mahal and Shanky, which shouldn't have been upsetting, but it's very difficult to tell what people were mad about. As I tried to follow this wormhole on Twitter, a lot of it just seems to be Top Dolla sucks, WWE sucks, and people arguing whether Top Dolla or Max Caster are any good at rapping. Now, I'm going to save everybody some trouble. They both suck. Max Caster is far more morally one-dimensional than Top Dolla. Top Dolla actually studied rapping, while Max Caster can only really do the early 2000s Cassidy punchline rap. And I really don't see either one of them being that good. That's why I don't like rap gimmicks. They suck, okay? But ultimately, I'm not going to get into whether Top Dolla is any good or not. I'm not going to save you the trouble of that. But I will subject you to Top Dolla rapping because I think it's the best way to. I want people to hear it because it was deleted even before I heard it, and therefore it was up to me to go and find the audio because I want people to actually hear it so that they can hear what the problem is. Because some people say, well, it was this thing, and some people say, no, it was this thing. But we're going to play it, then we're going to read Top Dolla's comments, and then maybe we'll go to the peanut gallery and see what other folks are talking about when it comes to Top Dolla and his diss rap. Let's get to the diss rap though. Here is some of the audio. We're going to try to do a rap genius on this if we can, because I think I know a little bit about the world. So let's see what we got here.
Let this be a lesson to all of you lames. You'd rather stay in your lane than play these games. Maharaja means prince and you ain't that. The way you rap is clear you hate rap. I state facts.
All right, so a lot of what I did see in trying to find this audio was that Maharaja means king and not prince. He Googled the word Maharaja. It came up as prince. Some people were saying, okay, it means king. I think that's the minutia. You know, people get words wrong. He's not Punjabi or whatever. He doesn't know what the word means, but he's in the same realm of possibility. It means male royalty. Okay. In any event, that was wrong. But a lot of people I heard have a problem with the beat, which is a traditional Indian music. So a lot of folks are kind of like, oh, you're just making fun of Indian music. It's like, not really. He's just rapping to a traditional Indian instrumental, which I don't see as being offensive. But I'm thicker skinned than most people. Also, in his verbiage, he said it's clear that you hate rap. So I'm guessing that's the direction the character and the gimmick is supposed to be going, and that Jinder Mahal doesn't like rap, which I think is kind of corny because they just did this with Santos Escobar, where Santos Escobar was making fun of rap music and grills and stuff. This is the problem with black characters must be black, and we must mention their blackness every 2 seconds, because there is the progressive stack, and I think this is where we have this big problem. Is the progressive stack that states that blacks are they're lower than whites, but there are other people of color which black people should not be making fun of. Hispanics being one of them, Indians being another, Arabs being another one. Where blacks are they're kind of at the top of the people of color list. But I don't see why that would be the case, considering Indians do well in the United States. But let's continue this whole thing. We got about 40 more seconds.
Ain't you the guy from 3MB? With COVID-19, you wouldn't be an LMC.
All right, so aren't you the guy from 3MB? Yes, it is the guy from 3MB actually. And he says with COVID-19, you wouldn't be an LMC. Basically, you even if you had COVID, you wouldn't be an ill rapper. It's supposed to be an interesting reference. It was not bad, but most people, it kind of went over people's heads. Again, rap in general is one of those things that you have to actually put more thought into it than you're willing to. But I don't like this instrumental. This instrumental is actually pretty bad.
Used to be a champion, and that's embarrassing. You're arrogant, and I mean you're clearly a hater. I'd rather rap with Heath Slater. That's the whole punchline.
Yeah, this sucked. And yeah, this sucked. It's not racist. It's just suck.
Yeah, that's the whole punchline. I'm like Curry from 3 when I'm grilling beef. Get it? Curry beef. It must be.
All right, so this is one of the things I thought people were going to be upset about. Where he says, I'm like Curry from 3 while I'm grilling beef. Get it? Curry beef. A lot of people don't get... I hate to pull the race card. It's a black thing. Steph Curry is a basketball player. He's using a double entendre. Steph Curry, the basketball player. Curry, the food. That's what he's doing. He's playing off that thing right there. That's not racist. He mentioned a black dude in the conversation of curry food. And you talked about how, basically it's in some ways paralleling how curry is important in both cultures, but different curries, different kinds of things. Where curry is food here, Curry is a great basketball player. That is a lot of people's favorite basketball player in this lane here. But I don't like when people have to explain the punchline. If you're a rapper, don't explain the punchline. Let people catch it. Whatever.
An emergency, because if you're spitting purposely, I'm top dollar, your bottom rupee. If it was currency, I need.
All right, so another one that people found was that he talked about rupee. I'm top dollar, your bottom rupee. What is offensive about the word rupee? I don't know. Rupee is the traditional Indian form of currency, isn't it? I mean, unless that's changed, I think that is true, right? So for him to say I'm top dollar being the American currency, rupee being the Indian currency, and your bottom rupee, he could have said your top rupee, but what would be the point of him saying your top rupee? This is a diss record, right? So, no, I don't see that as being insensitive in any way. Maybe, look, I'm going to throw it out there. So if you're an Indian of some description, let me know what is supposed to be offensive about this, even though I do believe that in a lot of these progressive arguments, it's mostly white people who are getting upset. But we'll try to figure that out later. But I didn't see what being bottom rupee, what that being upsetting, how that was upsetting. We got about 20 more seconds.
A bit of urgency because Jenda's bar sound like he never heard the beat. Speaking of beats, I need to go and run it back. What the fuck is that? Nah, for real though. Now what the fuck is that? Shanky, it looks like it hurts when you walk, and we can definitely tell that it hurts when you talk. This beef is looking like a walk in the park.
All right, so they played the little piece of Shanky rather trying to beatbox and it being terrible. Yeah, what the fuck was that? I think I asked that question when I saw it. But it was clearly just Shanky making fun of beatboxing from the 80s or whatever. So it didn't need to be any good. He's the heel. So it didn't matter. The whole thing about this is we're looking for things to be upset about, and I don't see anything to be upset about. He talked about Shanky. It looks like it hurts when Shanky walks. So I don't know what that means, but I guess it means it's uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable to see Shanky talk. Okay, but this doesn't make it a great diss record. They're just pretty generic disses. And Shanky being a really tall guy, he is awkward. He's an awkward dude. I can't tell you when the last time I saw somebody who was very, very tall and they weren't really all that awkward. We got about 6 more seconds.
Sorry, not sorry that I pulled the thread on you. Sorry to start. And now just like that cloth, y'all is falling apart.
All right. So sari is, if I remember correctly, it is a traditional Indian dress. It's for women. And he says, I'm sorry, but not sorry. Did I pull your sorry to start? In other words, he's pulling the strings on the dress and it's falling apart or whatever. All right, so he didn't mention any magic carpets or, Aladdin or anything like that. So I don't see what the big deal is. I really don't. But this is what Top Dollar had to say about why he took it down. He says, when Jinder and Shanky made jokes about, quote, the culture and turned their hat backwards and beatbox all the things that were making fun of my culture, I literally laughed. And they know that. I responded with a track doing the same thing in fun with the point of entertainment. Y'all in an uproar about a track that Jinder himself knew was coming. I'm over y'all flooding mentions, so I deleted it. The whole point of this was for us to have a good time with what we are doing. If you think I was insensitive, I just hope you have the same energy for my culture. I don't think he should have deleted it either. And then, of course, it's becoming a race thing. He retweeted this, by the way. Top Dollar retweeted this. It's only funny when the jokes are against blacks. See? Probably shouldn't do that. Shouldn't ignite that sort of situation. This is why you shouldn't be doing cultural beefs anyway. It just doesn't make any sense. He says, just because they said something racist that I don't even think they had a say in, doesn't mean you get to be racist. On your own, might I add. Top Dollar responded, they wrote it, I know for a fact, and it was hilarious. I laughed. I understand the point of entertainment. Yeah. Somebody says, a room full of old white men wrote that for them, whereas you chose to be racist all by yourself. And Top Dollar responded, you are incorrect. They wrote that themselves. I know that for a fact, and I thought it was hilarious. I don't understand what's the big thing here? Like, I feel like most people respond to headlines and then don't try to figure out what the problem is. Like, I listened to the actual song. I was waiting for something negative about India, about, the poverty or the people or something like that. And the only thing I see is, oh, he says that Maharaja means prince when it really means king. And he mentioned curry and rupees. Like, curry and rupees don't exist? Is he talking about things that aren't real? Is he talking about how all Indians are poor or something like that? No, he didn't mention anything negative about India. He mentioned saris, which is our traditional clothing for Indian women. Curry, which is a staple food for Indians. And rupees, which is their official currency. Part of the storyline. Jesus Christ. He's just furthering the storyline on Twitter. It's still real to me, damn it. Let me stop. Enough. This is bad. But I think that it's very fucked up that we would play that role, that we're going to call a guy racist or saying he's racially insensitive just for mentioning traditional Indian cultural aspects like saris and Maharaja and that kind of stuff. Merely mentioning these things, mock India. He didn't do a video where he did like a mock Indian dance. Kind of like what Charlotte did at the Superstar Spectacle. When Charlotte did the little Indian dance or whatever, and she did it with like other Indians. Like if Top Dollar had did something like that while the song was playing, I would say, all right, maybe he's going too far. But that's literally what Jinder Mahal and Shanky did. They literally did like the kid and play dance and even rock the hip hop pose and everything. It's all supposed to be done in storyline. But this is why you can't do storylines anymore. People get so offended. They get so tight-assed. You can't have fun with this shit.
Tell me what's worse than learning all that you led to believe was all horse crap. They distort so question as if you worship.